I'm Jeff Doyle. Welcome to this episode of Beneath the Bones. Today's topic is going to be spring shed hunting and scouting. One of the things that comes along with that is exposure to ticks. You may have seen recently on the news that babesiosis has been on the rise in the Northeast. Now, we've dealt with Lyme disease and ticks for a number of years, but this new disease has been on the rise and it's something to be aware of. One of the things that I like to do is treat my clothes with permethrin, and Sawyer is a supporter of Tracking 200. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you two products that we're going to give away. All you got to do is jump over to the Tracking 200 Facebook page. It's going to be a giveaway post, and go on underneath there and post a picture or a story of ticks, and what we'll do is send you a container of these. We're going to pick somebody at random, and that way you're protected. So we're going to send you, this is a 24-ounce container of permethrin, and it covers 5 different outfits. I honestly only spray my clothes twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall, and they're good to go. The other product they're going to send out is Picaridin, and this is a lotion, like a bug lotion, so insect repellent, something good, handy to have, especially those days that maybe you're trying to call in a turkey and those mosquitoes are buzzing around your face and you're trying not to move and they're eating you alive. So that's just something to keep an eye on. As I said, it's endemic in 3 new states. It's already in the Northeast. So watch for those bullseyes, but also watch out for other types of tick-borne diseases that could also affect you. Want everybody to stay safe. So over to shed hunting. I've been waiting to shed hunt because I actually like to shed hunt up in the mountains, and the snowpack's been sustaining pretty well up there, so I haven't been out yet. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about shed hunting areas where there's agriculture, all right? I'm not an expert at that, and I don't think I can probably provide you much tips, but for shed hunting and specifically looking at wintering areas of mountain deer, I'm going to keep in mind a few things. One is they may migrate a long ways, and if they don't migrate, they're certainly going to go over to a wintering habitat. And so what I'm going to do today is show you, using OnX, how I like to look and kind of narrow this down. And so what I'm going to do is open up OnX and do a screen recording here. I'm going to share this screen recording up on the screen so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to pick a random place. I'm going to jump over to Maine, actually. All right, I'm going to zoom in. Let me start that screen recording. And what I'm going to do is zoom in. I'm going to show you a few different layers. Now, I really like OnX. OnX is also a supporter of Tracking 200, and it's got a lot of nice features. So if you don't have OnX yet and you want to purchase it, you can use the code Tracking200, and you get 20% off your first subscription. Okay, so I've got the screen recording going now, and I've got this on Topo Map at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch this over to hybrid. Okay, and I've already got some filters turned on. If I go to Hunt Map Layers, what I can see for each state is I can turn on things like private lands or government lands, but that's not what I'm after today. Okay, what I'm after, I'm going to scroll down, keep going. You can get to lands and access, roads and trails. There's all different type of filters you can put on this. I'm going to click on tree crops and cover. Okay, now I can see timber cuts, right? That's kind of interesting, but I can also see 2 features which I think are key for shed hunting. You've got acorn producing oaks, all right? And if I click on that, I can then look and it can actually tell me individually if it's white oak, red oak, mixed oak. Okay, I can turn on each one of those individually. It shows up as red, and the reason I'd be after that is the deer are going to be looking for food during the winter. They're going to be in those acorns. All right. Now, if you don't know already, deer prefer white oak, but they'll eat red oak as well. So then what I can do, I'm going to go back to trees, and I'm going to look at thermal cover. All right, and this is key. Thermal cover shows up as different purple colors. I've got hemlock, fir, spruce, cedar, juniper, redwoods. Okay, now what you'll notice is if you're in a mountainous area, okay, you may see some thermal cover up on top of the mountain, all right? The deer aren't gonna winter up there. Why? It's too cold, snow depth, it's brutal. What they tend to do is, if they don't migrate a long ways, then they're gonna go down to a basin, all right? And this thermal cover is gonna be down low. It's usually in a big water complex. It could be near a big lake, it could be near a river, but that's where you're gonna find these big wintering areas. Now I'm gonna zoom in here. I'm gonna show you a pocket, all right? And what you can see is it's lower elevation, and there's a convergence of 3 streams here, okay? So what I might do is zoom out a bit and kind of try to tell the story. Now I'm happy to be looking at this thing called Speckled Mountain, all right? Now Speckled Mountain has oh wow, I've never been here, but it has some sheer face, some open rock face there. And the deer are gonna migrate across that. What they're gonna do is they're gonna follow this steep line, and they're probably gonna cut right around the end of this knob, right here, all right? So I'm gonna put my finger down there and drop a point. So that's a place that I would look for a trail. That trail is gonna come down into this complex, gonna provide some thermal cover, okay? And so when I go to scout, if I was scouting this area, if I was looking for sheds, I would be focusing on this area, and then I would walk back, because the deer tend to do 2 things. They come down, and then as the weather changes, they kind of go back up. It's like an ebb and a flow, all right? Once there's enough snow, they get down and they just kind of mill around the whole winter. So if you get into an area and you don't know if that particular area is harboring deer for the winter, one of the telltale signs is you look at the browse line, okay? And if you've got browse line, that's where the deer are eating essentially everything in sight. You know it's a wintering area. I'll also talk a little bit about the population. If they're over browsing, that's gonna be an issue, because they're not gonna be able to sustain that kind of deer population for long, because they're gonna run out of food at that browse level. But just wanted to take a moment and give you a quick heads up on the ticks, and also show you some tips. So if you're out shed hunting like me this weekend, you know, pull out OnX, check out that thermal cover, and the other thing I'll do is I'll just zoom out a bit and I'll buzz down to Massachusetts, where there are a ton of acorn producing oaks. I'll zoom in here, we'll let that catch up for a second, and what you'll see is, yeah, look at that. You've got a bunch of acorns right there. So you can see that they're bright red. If I go back to my filter, those are, I believe the bright red are the red oak, and the paler red is mixed oak, and the green is a white oak. There you go. All right, everybody, just a quick update. Remember, if you're signed up for OnX, use that code TRACKING200, save a little bit of money, and we'll see you next time.